Welcome everyone to the 70th birthday celebration of Rinpoche. Today we are screening some historical photos, starting with the early days of Rinpoche, his study and translation work with some of the most senior lamas of Tibetan Buddhism in India, including the former Yogsen Ling Rinpoche, His Holiness Sakya Gongma Trishan Rinpoche, and others. For 12 years, he was fortunate to study under the tutorship of His Eminence Choedak Trishan Rinpoche, who is not only Rinpoche's teacher, but is also one of the revered teachers of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness Sakya Gongma Trishan, and many others.
Rinpoche is the only surviving graduate of the first 3-year Lamjo retreat conducted by Choedak Trishan Rinpoche in Lumbini. After spending 5 years of translating for some of the senior lamas from all different traditions, Rinpoche settled in Canberra and did postgraduate studies at ANU from 1988 and founded Sakya-Losar Chozong. Then, in 1996, Rinpoche invited His Eminence Choedak Trishan Rinpoche to Australia, who travelled together with 12 monks and nuns. He then endorsed, gave his blessings, and established Rongton Buddhist College. Since then, Choedak Trishan Rinpoche visited Australia several times, 2001 as well as in 2006. During 2001, he gave the Vajrayogini empowerment in Canberra and ordained dozens of people as monks and nuns. He travelled to many cities and blessed many fortunate disciples. In 2001, he gave Rinpoche his blessings and special honour with the new title Sapa Lochen.
Then, with Kabye Choedak Trishan Rinpoche's blessings and prayers, Sakya-Losar Chozong was able to purchase Varupa Retreat Centre in 2002. Since then, through the blessings of numerous visits of His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Australia, by giving his teachings on Buddhism, the number of people interested in Buddhism increased dramatically, and Rinpoche's workload to travel around the country and teach added a great demand on him. And together with that, Rinpoche was able to start many branch sister centres around the country. Then in 2003, Choedak Trishan Rinpoche gave him special gifts, honour, and composed a long life prayer for Sapa Lochen Rinpoche. This happened at the auspicious occasion of the opening ceremony of Tashi Rabte Ling Monastery.
Then, in 2006, Choedak Trishan Rinpoche came again and then opened Siba in East Gippsland. Even though he was a ripe 87 years old, against the doctor's instructions, he actually visited Australia and opened Siba and gave his blessings.
Then our centre has been able to host many visits, other teachers, starting with Her Eminence Jetsun Kushala, His Holiness Sakya Gongma Trishan's older sister. Her Eminence is the only high-ranking female Buddhist teacher who travelled to Australia in 1989, 1999 and also 2008, during which she gave many empowerments and teachings to our Sangha all over Australia.
And then, of course, we had the good fortune to host a visit of His Holiness Sakya Gongma Trinchen in 2003 and 2009 to Australia, and His Holiness gave many empowerments and teachings in Canberra and Seba. More than 200 people attended his retreat in Seba for 5 days, and His Holiness gave blessings and endorsements to Rinpoche's teaching activities.
We have also hosted His Holiness's two blessed sons, Ratnavajra and Gyanavajra Rinpoche, Luding Khenchen Rinpoche, who also ordained some of our members and gave blessings. His nephew, Luding Khenpo Rinpoche, Her Eminence Jetsun Kushala's son, also visited Australia.
Our society organises pilgrimages to India, Nepal, and also Tibet. When we went to India, we met many teachers like Khenpo Api Rinpoche, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness's the two Karmapas, Thai Situpas, Khenchen Kunga Wangchuk, and visited all the monasteries and nunneries.
We had the opportunity to host the visit of His Holiness Ratnavajra Rinpoche in Australia 3 times. He gave a 1-month teaching in Seba as the inaugural teaching when we established the centre there. He also visited as recently as 2019 in Seba, and he's also travelled around the country and visited all the sister centres, all the way from Whyalla to Queensland, Sydney, Canberra and Milton, Ulladulla, so that all of our hundreds of students are very well connected with our lineage masters.
His Holiness Gyanavajra Rinpoche the 43rd also visited Australia a few times, particularly in 2008 when he led a Vajrasattva empowerment and fire puja in Seba. So our centre has been able to receive blessings, teachings, instructions and guidance from all our lineage holders, and in so doing we have been able to establish a firm seat here in Australia. There are at least 15 branch centres in Australia, including one in New Zealand where Rinpoche travels throughout the year, sometimes twice to most centres, except to some maybe once.
And in between, we host visits of very important teachers, and also Rinpoche takes a number of students every alternate year on a pilgrimage to India, Nepal and also sometimes Tibet. It is on these pilgrimages where our members are able to visit the monasteries, the nunneries and the sacred sites of where Buddha was born, enlightened, preached and passed away into Mahaparinirvana.
We also had numerous occasions to have an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, which is like a dream come true for most of our people, and we have made connections with all the Sakya teachers, even as young as the little Asanga, who is now a grown-up man and will be one of the future lineage holders.
Most importantly, in 2007, Rinpoche took a big pilgrimage group of 70 Australians to Tibet to reconnect with Nalendra Monastery, and there, Nalendra, together with 6 other branch monasteries, all needed great help, and our society has been able to raise over $450,000 over the years, which has enabled them to renovate various parts of their activities. So we had a very emotional gathering in Nalendra in 2007 with some of the surviving monks and nuns, where our society and generous benefactors made good donations, which enabled the monastery to have repairs of some of the old buildings. Also, some of the villagers came in hundreds, knowing that Rinpoche was visiting, so it's a very emotional gathering. Many of our members visited.
Pilgrimages to India and Nepal, which happens almost every alternate year, took our members to all the important Buddhist shrines in India, Tibetan centres, Dharamsala, Sherab-Ling, Dehradun, Mindro-Ling, Ajanta Ellora, and the Tibetan Children's Village. It's incredible how well Tibetans have re-established their centres in Nepal and India. So we have a very strong network, connection with so many places and people. Many of our members sponsor Tibetan children. Sometimes we have visited the opening of other monasteries in Nepal, like the new Tashi Rabten Ling in 2003 and 2004, where thousands of people from all over the world come and visit the Himalayas, the River Ganges, the Ajanta Caves and the Ellora Caves.
We have met very honourable venerables like Khenchen Kunga Wangchuk, one of the teachers of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who often talks about him. Also, we were able to meet some of Rinpoche's senior family members and relatives and visit very beautiful sites in Nepal, including the mountains and, most importantly, the nice people, young boys, girls, monks and nuns, and being able to see how people live in those parts of the world.
We were able to make offerings to small and large sanghas, as well as offering them butter lamps and making connections with people, sitting down with them to do meditation and prayer, and to have our clothes sewn by local tailors, watching the kids play and meeting all the different teachers and see how the development is occurring due to the Tibetan people coming to Nepal and India.
We have visited Tibetan schools where young Tibetan children are studying their culture. There are only a few left from the older generations that have now changed. Wherever we go, we are greeted with open arms.
Earlier this year, Rinpoche was invited to give a talk at the International Buddhist Conference, organised and hosted by Ganden Podrang, which was opened and presided over by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Rinpoche was the only speaker invited from Australia. We were able to participate there together with 2,000 monks from all over the world from 35 countries. We were able to make connections, and they were able to know that there is Dharma and Dharma activities in Australia.
Our society conducts many annual retreats, ranging from small groups to large groups of over 60 people, and residential retreats at Seba. Rinpoche conducts annual Tibetan language classes that go for 10 days, and many of his senior language students do reading and translation online every week. There are many students who have done very well, particularly half a dozen are pursuing translator work, including Jamyang La, Julie Tinian, Michael, Peter, and many others.
A number of our students have also done long retreats. Several have completed 3-year retreats. Others have done a couple of months. A number of our members, of course, are very elderly, and some have passed away.
We are going to build a stupa in memory of our deceased students, members and benefactors in Seba. The construction of this stupa has already begun, and we also hold family retreats in Seba where families with children can come and do retreats every so often.
Rinpoche also does visits to school groups or school groups coming to Canberra, wanting to know about the Dalai Lama, peace, Buddhism, Tibetan culture, and so on.
For many years, Rinpoche has been asked to give lectures at the Royal Military College of Duntroon in Canberra for graduate cadets. So Rinpoche's Dharma teaching activities touch people from all walks of life. Even in the federal parliament, there is a group who has shown interest to learn meditation, and Rinpoche has offered classes there.
Rinpoche conducts the very popular 8-week meditation courses. This course has changed many people's lives. Since 1996, nearly over 30 years, over 5,000 people have attended these 8-week courses. And this is the main draw card of people coming to our centre, as members and students. As a result of that, we have been able to build a large network of members and friends, centres and residential retreat centres. Many sister centres across Australia, especially in Milton Ulladulla, Ananda Buddhist Centre in Rockhampton, Talam Ling in Townsville, Punsok Choleng in New Zealand and other centres teach this course throughout the year. In 2017, the ACT government awarded us a land grant, recognising Rinpoche's work, which is really more significant than any other kind of award.
Last year, we had to make a hard decision to sell Varupa Retreat Centre. We have since very happily handed it over to our Bhutanese Buddhist community friends, so that it has enabled them to have an established Buddhist retreat centre as their home. Also, it has enabled us to begin working on the Sakya Temple of Peace. The construction work commenced only a couple of months ago, and as we speak, the construction work is well and truly underway. Hopefully in a year or a bit more than that, we will be able to see the opening of the new centre, the Sakya Temple of Peace.
Right now, all of the fundraising projects are going on, so all of you who are gathered here, if you have any wish to be part of making the construction of this temple, not only the temple but also the statues, traditional decorations, sacred books and the stupa, it is a very worthy cause to contribute to. If you wish to make a donation for yourself or your deceased parents or family, this is a very excellent opportunity to do so. So please contact our centre, and you can also make a direct donation on our website. The majority of the funds for the project has been a result of Rinpoche's teachings over the last 35 years. This seed fund has enabled us to build the centre and dedicate this centre, the Sakya Temple of Peace, as a significant cultural and humane contribution to Australian society by our Tibetan Buddhist activities, inspired by none other than His Holiness the Dalai Lama and His Holiness Sakya Gongma Trichen, and most importantly, His Eminence Chogyar Trichen Rinpoche, whose heart son is our Rinpoche, who has given the last 35 years of his life totally for the sake of Dharma and sentient beings.
So all these wonderful activities will continue. We're urging people who are members already to renew your membership. Others who are not yet members, please become members and contributors, because this centre is to continue well into the future.
So today our society and all its sister centre members, many of you who have gathered here Surely it is a rare occasion indeed. A 70th year of a Rinpoche is not an every year birthday celebration, but only in recent years have Tibetans discovered that a birthday is to be recognised. Therefore, on this auspicious occasion today, it's very good to have you all here.
Here we have already started the construction work on the temple. So to have this time together with all of you is a great way to show our appreciation and gratitude not only to Rinpoche, but to his teacher, His Eminence Choedak Rinpoche, His Holiness Sakyongma Trishim, and most importantly, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, whose incredible leadership has made many Tibetans, ordinary boys like Rinpoche, be able to help and touch many people's lives, like our young children or soldiers or anyone who is interested to follow the way of peace, compassion, tolerance in our world that is otherwise in deep trouble with wars and difficulties.
Our society's effort to promote peace is greatly realised by being able to establish a centre like ours. So, on behalf of all the committee members of Sakyoloso Chozong and all the centres around Australia and overseas, as well as Rinpoche's growing audience of over 1,000 people who listen to him every week, we wish our beloved Lama Choedak Rinpoche a very happy and blessed birthday.
Thank you everyone for watching this slideshow, which highlights important historical moments of the Society's 30-year history.